Okay, we should be live now. Before we start, I want to make sure the trade deadline is off. Okay, good thing I did that. Because I don't know if I could turn it back on. Because I'm having the trade deadline as week 10, but the real season has it as week 8. So I wanted to make sure that was all good. Okay, the audio sounds fine. Okay, we should be all good. We don't have to do anything else. We are ready to rock and roll with weeks 8 and 9. After today, we will be halfway through the season, which is pretty wild. We've made it far quick because we only started like 2 weeks ago. So we're moving at a pretty good pace so far. As we maybe get closer to Madden 22 into the summer, I might want to move a little bit faster, but I think for now we're moving at pretty good speed here in Season 1. What's good, Gary, Nickinator, Pokemon, Sports Gaming, YT? What's good, fellas? So the first game today we have is the Black Knights and the Washington Commies, who have been two of the better teams in the league. Washington has what, one loss? They're 6-1. And the Black Knights are 4-3. The Black Knights have had a weird season. They started off red hot, then they were cold, and now they're hot again. So I think the Black Knights, when they're on, they're on. So they're going to prove to be a tough out. I could not say that. Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 2. Siri picks 2. I think Washington is home. So I guess we'll use her the Commies. One win pride. I still don't know how you guys only have one win. That just blows my mind. Yes, your position change, everything is all updated. Washington doesn't have any cool jerseys, which is an oof. So, I mean, don't they have like yellow alternates in here? Or am I stupid? No, I don't think they do. I'm wrong. So pretty much oh, they have yellow pants. So pretty much do we want white pants, yellow pants, or red pants? I kind of dig these all red ones. I don't remember what we wore the last time we saw Washington when they played and beat us. What's going on, Blade Raven? You got a hint. We started like 2 minutes ago, so don't even worry about being late because we haven't even started. So, you're all good, Chief. The Bears game, I think, got second for week 9. So, it does not look like we will. Oh, that game passed it last second, but it's kind of late, but here's this. So, the Chiefs and Tigers game had the lead last time I checked, but now the Bears and... Well, we're already watching the Black Knights here, so... In that case, it would make more sense to watch the other game, because we're already watching the Black Knights now. We'll figure it out when we get to week 9. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. How about that? The Giants staff on paper does look good, but it's the Giants, so I don't really trust them at all. But, I mean, I've been on the Brian Daboll train for a while. Clearly, he was not getting offers last year. I thought there was a chance maybe he just wanted to stay in Buffalo and wait to get something good. But considering he took the Giants job, I guess he didn't get anything better last year. But other than letting go of Patrick Graham, although Wink Martindale isn't too much worse at defensive coordinator, all hail King Kellen Mond, the second best quarterback in the NFC North. He's going to be the second best quarterback in the NFC North in real life next year, only behind David Blau. Ooh, it's a night game. I didn't see which game is it? Monday night. Okay, interesting. So Monday night prime time between the two best teams in the NFC East. You got Washington, who's been maybe the best team in the league so far. I would probably say that the Commanders, or the football team, or the Commies, whatever you want to call them, I think they've been the best team in the league through 7 weeks. The Black Knights, at times, have looked like the best, but at times they've also looked pretty bad. So this is their chance to prove to the world that they are pretty good rather than just streaky. Get ready for cover 0 with Wink. What's good, Daniel Dutton? Welcome in, my guy, as Washington starts with an early run. Josh Jacobs has ran it well this year. It seems like Josh Jacobs, the past 2 OFLs, has been really good, except for when he's on our team. Because when he was on the Diablos, he kind of underperformed. And then I traded him and stuff for Dalvin Cook, and then he ended up being better than Dalvin Cook. But whatever. Are we watching the Tigers? So the Tigers game had the lead last I checked. Now they're not winning. But we're already watching the Black Knights game now, so I was mentioning it earlier. I said we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, when we get to Week 9. 3rd and 1, Herbo looks to throw it up the middle as a wide-open receiver who gets pounded. Yeah, the Browns are looking really good, too. I would say Cleveland so far is probably the favorite in the AFC. They've been, I guess, the second best team in the league. I think Washington's beaten their teams by a little bit more, so I think that would make Washington a little bit better. But Cleveland's been right on their tail, although I don't fully trust Matt Corral yet. It seems like Cleveland has a great roster, and they're not really winning because of Corral. More so, they're winning with Corral. And he hasn't made enough mistakes to make them bad. They've obviously been very good. But I don't know if in a watched playoff game, after the first time we saw him and watched, that I fully trust him yet. The OFL has to be investigated. I want to watch your game. Let me just make it perfectly clear, okay? If it's up to me, if I had the choice, I want to watch the Tiger game. We haven't seen the Chiefs yet. I'm curious about them. And we have seen the Bears, and we'll have seen the Black Knights twice. But the other game is winning. So normally I would just say we'll go with the other game. But since we're watching the Black Knights already today, I'm trying to help the Tigers out, okay? I'm trying to help you guys. Yeah, you guys are the only team to beat Cleveland. That's pretty impressive. Cleveland plays the Beats this week. That would be really funny if they lost. I almost hope they lose just because it'd be hilarious. You would like to see your team Saints. Oh, since the Saints are good, they'll definitely be on the poll a lot as we go through the rest of the year. Dear God, that kick was bad. I'll get to my point in a second. But yikes, that kick was ugly. Thinking that Apple shows up right when that happens. But the Saints I would love to watch. They'll be on the poll quite a bit. And then Pokemon as well. The Bison are certainly good enough to be on the poll. I know the Bison were on for one of the games this week, and I've put the Saints on a couple of times as well. So we'll definitely see quite a bit of both of those teams as we get throughout the season, particularly if they keep winning, which, I mean, the Saints are very good, and the Bison are in a pretty weak division, and they're also quite good. As Hurts is sacked by DJ Jones. I forgot to switch Jack Fox to kicker again. You know what? If I remember, normally I wouldn't do this, but if I remember before we sim, actually it doesn't matter because we're not watching us. No, okay. I'm gonna put it in position changes so I remember. But it doesn't really matter, I don't think, for the sim. I only think it matters for watched. Yeah, I'm gonna write this down. I feel like I'm gonna forget. Okay, there we go. I don't want to lose another game because of having a punter at kicker. So this is obviously the first game that we're watching. And then the second game, normally we would have it figured out, but there is some, fumble! And it's picked up by Washington. Again, I'll get back to my point in a second. So it looked like Jalen Hurts lost the ball because they're showing him. I wasn't looking at the play. I was looking at my screen. Yeah, it was a QB run, and he must have lost it. Was he down, though? Oh, that was a fumble. I don't think his knee was down. Ooh, that was close, but I think that is a fumble. So as I was trying to say, since the poll for the other game has been like flip-flopping, we'll figure out which one we're watching when we get into week 9. You're the only person trying to help me, so because of that, I should force win your games for the rest of the year. I'm not, but that'd be funny. Second one, little screen. I think that's T. Higgins. Gets a yard, which all they needed was 1. Remember, the awards, we get to see those first in week 9. So it'll get us a gauge of who Madden thinks should be the MVP, because so far we don't really have a clear MVP favorite. Seems like a lot in OFL 21. There was always 1 or 2 guys who we were like, yeah, it's going to be them. Usually it was like Smirnov or Burrow or somebody else in the mix, maybe Jordan Love, Eddie Small. As Herbo launches a bomb for the end zone, I think it was caught but out of bounds. If only that had gone like maybe 2 or 3 yards less, he would have caught it. I plan on showing dev traits fairly soon. Not today, but probably within the next couple of streams. I'm also considering, don't miss another kick. Why would they kick it again? He missed it from 52. So why would you do it from 52 again? That's kind of dumb. If he's short the first time, what makes you think he won't be short, especially when it's 4th and inches? If it was 4th and like 12, then maybe I'd get it. But no, you have Josh Jacobs, who's a power back. You got to run the ball. But, as I was, again, trying to say, I'm considering maybe having a stream where we do like 3 or 4 weeks. We would still only watch 2 games, but just to like experiment. Because since we started OFL late this year and I still want to get through 5 seasons, we may need to move extra fast. So I might want to experiment with it here in year 1 and see how it goes. I don't know when exactly that would be, but I do want to do that at some point this year. Maybe next stream, but I'm not 100% sure. He's a rookie. Well, that explains a lot. Oh, that was almost picked. Hurts nearly turned it over again. He needs a kicker like Jack Fox, who isn't available. Let me just make that perfectly clear. You're not getting him because he's mine. Hurts is going to run with it. There goes Jalen Hurts. I still don't know how to feel about these London away jerseys because I feel like normally red pants wouldn't go, but I don't know, it just looks good. The black helmets, white jerseys, and red pants, it just meshes together, and I don't know why I like it, but it just feels right. What's good, Ian? That'll end the first quarter. No points, but a pretty interesting start. Washington has already missed 2 field goals, both of which have gone from 52 yards. So, clearly Apple needs to invest a little bit more in the kicker position. Maybe he needs to get someone who has 4 eyes to start kicking. Yeah, I like the all-reds, too, for Washington. Better than some of the real-life Commanders jerseys. Eek. Those black jerseys make me want to puke. I'm just saying, it would have been really cool to have like a wolf or like a red tail plane on the helmet. That would have been cool. I know Washington couldn't name themselves the Red Wolves because of like copyright or something, but they could have had some really cool ideas with their logo rather than just the W, because they're not going to be taking many W's unless they, I don't know, figure some things out, particularly up top. Am I wrong? Those jerseys are not good. I think the home and away jerseys, the jerseys themselves are a little bit underrated. I don't think they're bad, but the W on the like front of the helmet just looks horrendous. It's so hard to mess up black jerseys with black helmets and black pants. Those are usually some of the best jersey combos you'll find, but Washington completely messed it up. Raiders hired 2 members of the Patriots staff. I'm sorry, Raiders. Those teams will never learn. Yeah, the Red Hogs would have been great, too. Imagine, like, some giant, like, pig on the helmet. That would have been sick. Need team creator back, if only. I think there's a reason why Madden can't add that, but I'm not really sure of the reason. But I feel like there is, like, an actual reason. Although it's not really an excuse, because Madden is missing a lot of things that were literally in the game 15 years ago. Herbert barely overthrows his target. I think that was Metcalf again. Herbo's showing off the arm, but he's not quite getting there. How did Joe Judge get hired for a job? Well, I mean, Joe Judge is not an NFL head coach, but just because you're a bad head coach doesn't mean you can be bad elsewhere. Like, Matt Patricia has a job on that Patriots staff. Pretty much every Patriots assistant who gets fired within 3 seasons ends up back there. I would bet in 5 years from now, if Bill Belichick is still there, which with his age we don't really know, but if he is, I would bet in 5 years Josh McDaniels is their offensive coordinator. QB sneak on 3rd. Well, I mean, yeah, that was a bad call. I'm not going to deny it, but he's an NFL caliber coach. He's just not an NFL caliber head coach. Like Matt Nagy, for example, I know there were some quiet rumors of us wanting him as the offensive coordinator, and everybody hated it. I would have been honestly kind of happy if we got Matt Nagy. I think he'd be a good offensive coordinator. He was a bad coach. He deserved to get fired, but I feel like people made him out to be like the worst head coach in the league, which I don't think is true. And I also think people made Mitchell Trubisky out to be the worst starting quarterback in the league, which, again, I don't think that was true either. So I feel like Matt Nagy's just not a good head coach, but he's not a bad NFL coach itself. He's just not a head coach. You have people like Adam Gase who probably shouldn't touch a clipboard. That's different. Yeah, Nagy won Coach of the Year, I think, his first year. The Bears, it was his first or his second year. It was the year that the Bears made the playoffs and lost on a double doink. Okay, that throw was a beauty. Hurts was under a ton of pressure and threads the needle for A.J. Brown, and Washington is looking kind of underwhelming. I know largely because of their kicker, but London's moving the ball. Yeah, he won it in 2018, which was the same season as the double doink. Right? Yeah, that was 2018. Beats for pick 1. I mean, if you guys keep losing, yeah. You guys are down by 3 and are 6-1. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here, Apple. You guys are the best team in the league right now. So, a loss in Week 8 is not worst case scenario. Although it's not ideal, nobody's been better than Washington this season, in my opinion. And I don't think it's totally that close. Cleveland is a 6-1 too, but I feel like they just haven't been dominant a whole lot. They've been winning games, and winning games obviously mean something. Cobra always beats good. He does. I don't know. That's just a weird thing about Cobra's teams. They always beat us last year, although Juju owns that fraud tax shoddy. We can still agree on that. But he always beat us. Now he's beating you currently. So, albeit it's 3-0 in the second quarter. Again, let's not get ahead of ourselves. But he does beat the good teams, which is good. And they do get the touchdown. It's Jack Doyle, the former Western Kentucky Hilltopper, who puts the Black Knights on the board once again with their first touchdown of the day. We've seen some impressive comebacks here so far this season. So with Washington, who's, again, the best team in the league right now, there's no reason why they can't come back. And we're still in the first half. The Bears scored 10 points within like 2 minutes. We were up by 10. We were up by 17 in that fourth quarter, I think. I don't remember, but we choked a big lead, and then Kellen Mond pulled off the Kellen Mond. If the Niners beat the Pioneers, I'm not. That'd be funny. Almost as funny as the Almost as funny as if the Beats beat the Browns today. That'd be really funny. Nice gain of 22 for Kelsey. This game is a snoozer. Honestly, I feel like this game has been pretty interesting. Washington's offense hasn't been that bad. They just haven't made their kicks. And the Black Knights look good. So even though there's not a ton of points, Washington's been shut out. This has been pretty competitive. Kellen Mond is Malik Willis's dad. Well, Malik Willis played well in that game. So I would say Kellen Mond is like Greg Newsome's dad. Because didn't Greg Newsome allow like some really big play late in the game? Herbert's missed some deep throws today. He has missed the deep ball. You want a quarterback. Well, I mean, there are probably plenty on the market, although Derek Carr is good. Malik's better. Facts. Did he not get that first down? He didn't. And why is London not calling a timeout? That's odd. Okay. I mean, you do you, London, but Stafford. Stafford's not higher rated than Derek Carr, though. So that wouldn't really be an upgrade. Oh, what a punt! Down at the 1! Oh my goodness, what a beauty! This guy needs to be the one who's doing Washington's kicks. Holy cow! Herbert is looking like Jordan Love. And they're throwing it. I'm confused by what London's trying to do. They didn't call a timeout. Well, now they do. If they didn't call a timeout and they have it at the 1-yard line, why are they now all of a sudden trying to drive down the field? That doesn't really make sense. London is like a really weird team. They have to be the weirdest team in the league. Nearly a safety. Hurts got rocked in the end zone, but was able to get rid of it. Apple doesn't have a kicker, but he has a good punter. He's just like me. 3rd and 4. They got it. Okay. London calls timeout number 2. I don't know if London's going to have enough time. They only have 1 timeout. Who starts the ball? I think the Black Knights do, because the first possession of the game, I think, was the first missed field goal. Hurts again is going to run with it. Yeah, they're not going to have enough time. They should just call a timeout here, to be honest. I don't know how Jalen Hurts is having a better year than some teams. I mean, Madden Sim is just unpredictable. So, there's my mic. So, it just happens. But Jalen Hurts is having a really good year. I know Cobra said he was unimpressed with him a couple weeks ago, but since then, Hurts has played really well. In the games that they've won, he's been really good. So, if I was Cobra and the Black Knights, I would be really encouraged with how he's played. Because he's been good. He's been real good. I don't know if I'd say he's been MVP good, but if he strings together a nice little win streak, continues to play well today, going in the next 3-4 weeks, he could be a legitimate MVP candidate. He's been that good. So Jalen Hurts and the Black Knights are on top 10-0. Washington's offense has been very underwhelming, and the Black Knights do start the ball in the 3rd quarter. They could look to make this game even more of a blowout, which would be wild. Elijah Chisholm for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, Chisholm's only played, 3 weeks? Or 2 weeks. No, 2 weeks. But he's been pretty good. I'm impressed. I think it is 3 weeks now that I say it. But who is the Offensive Rookie of the Year favorite? I mean, biasly, I would say Malik Willis. But Corral's in the conversation. Who are the other rookie quarterbacks who are starting? Obviously, Boatwell, but he has not played all that well. Chisholm's been pretty good. But Pickett isn't starting. Carson Strong isn't starting. Desmond Ridder probably will be soon, but he's not. Who's the other top QB who I'm forgetting? Sam Howell. Sam Howell's not starting. Zion Johnson, Offensive Rookie of the Year. If only it was easier to tell with offensive linemen. So Washington does get the stop. Only a minute used off the clock. That was a quick drive. So I would say biasly, Malik Willis is probably the pick so far, unless there's like some receiver who's having a really good year who I'm forgetting about. I know Jamison Williams and Garrett Wilson have been very impressive, and some of the other rookie receivers are playing pretty good too. Charles Cross for Rookie of the Year. I would say Ike Mekwonu, but I think last game, if I remember correctly, he allowed like 3 sacks. So, Toronto and the Wizards play. Really? I didn't even know that. That's so ironic. That is really fitting. It would have been cool if Mahomes made his Wizards debut against his old team, but since that trade hasn't happened, then I guess Mahomes might be playing against his future team if they can make a deal. Kellen Mond is a front runner for MVP. I mean, he's... If we're being serious, no, but he's not that far off. I mean, he's been balling out. So he's kind of like that Jalen Hurts tier where it's like, not yet, but if they keep playing well and some of these other guys kind of fall off, then yeah, who's to say they aren't in the conversation? We all know Mahomes is good. It seems like Mahomes might get traded this season. I mean, he's already been traded about 4 times. It just hasn't passed yet. It seems like both teams really want to make a deal, which I don't really know why. I said it in the server. It just doesn't feel like it makes sense for either side for where they are. Jalen Hurts in real life should be traded only if the Eagles can get something better. I mean, if they can't string off something for Ruts or Watson, then no. So a better way to phrase that, rather than saying Jalen Hurts should be traded, is that you guys should maybe consider getting one of the stars. Because otherwise, I would choose Jalen Hurts next year over probably any of the rookies, which more so is about the rookie class. Washington's trying to move back as far as they can at 2nd and 27. Playing Michigan teams in other sports, playing Michigan teams in football, unless you're the Lions. Wow, you're saying Eastern Michigan's good? The other two, Central and Western Michigan, are pretty good, I think, but I don't know about Eastern. Herbert fumbles it. It goes right into the hands of the big defensive tackle. It's Akeem Hicks. He looked like he wanted to take a shot, but instead, the pass rusher ripped it out right at the right time. I am surprised the Black Knights are playing this well. Their defense has been great today. Justin Herbert, who is still one of my front runners for the MVP, he has not been good. He hasn't been good. If this game is a 3-possession lead for London, we will start to simulate, yes. Or if it's like a 2-possession game, like halfway through the fourth quarter, and we know it's not going to be a comeback, then in that case we would start simming. So if London scores a touchdown, which if Jalen Hurts is going to be shrugging off defenders like that, then they probably will. Defense is literally Aaron Donald and Odafe Oweh. No, you guys have some pieces on your defense. I mean, Aaron Donald's obviously the main guy, but I mean, you guys have a couple other players. J.C. Horn, Jalen Phillips. Those are the only 2 off the top of my head, but I think there are other ones. Jalen Hurts, you suck. That's how you make Jalen Hurts good. Tell him he sucks. Because the past 3 weeks, he's been insane. Kellen Mond, I thought Herbert's numbers were really good last time we checked. Although, we will take why would they do that? We will take a closer look after this week with the MVP stuff now in the game for Week 9. But there have been some BS calls. Like what? I haven't seen any BS calls. Other than Washington kicking the field goal on 4th and inches when they already missed a 52-yarder. 3rd and 7. Can he run it in? He does! Jalen Hurts with a rushing touchdown, and the Black Knights lead this game by 3 possessions, which means it is sim time. I did not expect a sim today in favor of the Black Knights, but here we are. Fittingly, Washington's offense. Now they're doing something. Oh, they only kicked a field goal. Okay, so I guess they punted it. Washington's actually starting to play kind of well. Will they get in the end zone? It looks like they got stopped on the goal line. So that... I was going to say that pretty much does it, but it's still a 2-score game. Washington still has the ball. They score a touchdown. They missed the extra point, though. If Washington gets a stop, we'll hop back in. Okay, that's not a good sign, that pass. 2nd and 12. Jones gets 3. 3rd and 9. Okay. We'll see if he makes the field goal, and then we'll go from there. So it's a 53-yarder. If he misses it, we're definitely going to watch. I think he got it. Yup, it's good. So it is a 2-score game, so I guess we will continue simulating. Fourth and 10 for the ball game. Herbert gets 4. So this game is over. The Black Knights upset the Washington football team, and it looks like London, they're not some fluke. They proved to me today that they are actually pretty good. I think Washington still has been, well, deservedly the favorite in the NFC, but now it's not as clear as it was. Largely because of the play of Jalen Hurts. Wow, Herbert actually had a higher passer rating. It feels like Jalen Hurts was better, from at least the watched portion of the game. Aaron Jones wasn't all that good, but Hurts was impressive on the ground. Josh Jacobs was solid. If you told me who won off of these box score stats, I probably would say Washington. Which is wild considering it was a sim in favor of London. Alright, it's time to sim. The GOAT is here. I've been here for like nearly 40 minutes. So the GOAT's been here for a while, Chief. We're not seeing any standings. Okay, I saw nothing. The 49ers won! Wow! Jordan Love did it! He beat the Pioneers with 3 passing touchdowns. Is San Francisco going to start to figure it out? Wow! Joe Burrow did not play all that well. Both running backs ran wild. Joe Mixon was unbelievable, and Nick Chubb was pretty damn good too. Corey Davis with a big game. A lot of receivers played well. This would have been an awesome game to watch. There's a reason why I put it on the poll, even though the Pioneers only had 1 loss and the Niners only had 1 win. Yes, I will. I'm not going to go team by team, but I will go through the stat leaders after this week. The Giants beat the Bats, another high scorer, 35-31. McCorkle Jones with 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. Dak Prescott wasn't too bad either. Jameson Crowder, the big game. Debo, Mooney, CeeDee Lamb, Tyler Higbee, and Jonnu Smith all find the end zone. There have been some good games this week. Holy cow. The Huskies with Patrick Mahomes have now won 5 in a row. I'm telling you guys, the Huskies are figuring it out. They don't need to trade away Patrick Mahomes, particularly to the Wizards. So what? Stafford got hurt, and Gardner Minshew, who technically should be a Husky now, came in his place and was pretty bad. So we'll see if Patrick Mahomes does end up getting traded to Washington, but he just beat them. Yes, Mac Jones' real name, if you Google it, his real name is McCorkle. That's his name. There are a lot of quarterbacks who have weird, actual names. A bunch of them, go by their middle name. I know now, obviously, Matthew Stafford does. I think Trevor Lawrence's first name is, William or something. It's weird. The Jaguars lose to the Bison 28-24. We've had a ton of close games so far. Yeah, our game that we watched was the sim game. Tannehill and Wilson were both fine. Can we make Henry Ruggs a 5'9" white wide receiver with long blonde hair named Dade Jaquamarvavius Jones? Well, I'm not going to edit his height. If I change his appearance, I'm not going to make him worse. He's going to be the same player. Odafe Jason Oweh, that's another one. Yeah, his name is William. Matthew Stafford's real name is John. His name is John Matthew Stafford. Did you guys know he was close childhood friends with Clayton Kershaw in high school? I know you've never heard that fun fact before. The Jets beat Detroit. Elijah Chisholm is actually kind of good. Oh my word! This kid can play! He has, like, basically the same skill set as Brady Boatwell, yet Boatwell is worse. That doesn't make any sense. And Boatwell has X Factor. I don't get that at all. Huh. Are the Jets, are they turning it around? I think they're 3-5, and they're in a pretty weak division. So, I don't know. Maybe the Jets are turning it around. Dr. Phil played linebacker for Tulsa in the 60s. Really? I mean, he looks like a linebacker. Hold on. I got to see this for myself. Oh my word, he was. That's wild. I gotta see how big he is. I'm curious now. As a linebacker. He's 6'3". Huh. The more you know. The Panthers still suck. Have they won a game? I thought they did. Oh, no, they haven't. Okay. For whatever reason, I thought the Beats were the only winless team, but Carolina's winless, and now that I remember, I think someone else is. I forget. The Rams. It's the Rams. Does Ogadafe go by two names? So originally, throughout really his whole... Wow, Jalen Reagor with a good game. Throughout his college career, he went by Jason Owe, but I think right before the draft, he said he wanted to go by Odafe. So now everyone just calls him Odafe. But before the draft, we knew him as Jason Owe. Me and Boomy agreed on a new trade for Mahomes. So I don't let trades pass during the stream, and since you guys took a while for it to get set up, I obviously didn't do it. So assuming that trade does pass, it will go through before the next stream. And since you guys did it right when this stream started, I'll let you guys reevaluate if you still want to make the trade. So if you guys both still do, then I'll have it pass before the start of next stream. And then Patrick Mahomes will finally be a Wizard. Assuming it's good. So the Patriots beat the Bears. Thank you, New England, for helping us out. Trevor Lawrence was Kellen Mond was also pretty meh. He had a nice passer rating, though. James Robinson scores twice. Garrett Wilson with a 72-yard touchdown. I think the stream is probably going to be Thursday. That would be my guess. And that could be the stream where I plan on doing 3 or 4 weeks as an experiment. The Rams remain winless. They lose to the Cardinals 28-10. Sam Darnold, of course, still on the Rams because since the Patrick Mahomes trade fell through, the thing that Boomy traded for Darnold was in that Patrick Mahomes trade. So that's why Sam Darnold is still in Ram. The Bears are pretty good in watch, although I don't know if I would say they're average in sim. They haven't been bad this year. They haven't been great either. Emmanuel Ogbah with 3.5 sacks. That's a weird one. The Ravens lose in a close one to the Shamrocks, 24-21. Yes, believe it or not, Sam Darnold does still have a job. Justin Fields, not a lot of yards, but he wasn't too bad. Lamar Jackson was solid. Tony Pollard with a pretty good game. Zeke and Jordan Scarlett. That's a weird one. Why did he get almost the same amount of carries as Elijah Mitchell? Huh. I forgot Jordan Scarlett existed. Isn't he, like, super slow? Or was that someone else? Chris Olave had a nice game with 2 touchdowns. Amari Cooper scores as well. Penei Sewell allows 2 sacks. What? Oh, he faced off against Chandler Jones. That makes sense. Kayvon Thibodeau also with a sack. We only saw about half of the last game. That is true, but we're only watching 2 games today. Unfortunately, I'm not made of time. I wish I was, though. How many high-scoring games are we going to have this week? Goddamn. The Chargers beat Seattle in overtime. And it's all the games that I put on the poll this week have been, like, really good. Broncos, Chiefs, we haven't seen yet. Pioneers and Niners was really good. This game was really good. And then the other one, Tigers and Vikings, we haven't seen yet. So I guess we've only seen 2 games on the poll other than the one that we watched. But they've both been really good. Kyler Murray with 5 touchdowns. He's a legit MVP candidate. He's been great this year. Dalvin Cook had a nice game. Marquez Callaway, 8 for 162 and 3. Hello. Cooper Kupp was great. So was Mark Andrews. Those two are, a little bit more regularly great. Both first guy in, last guy out type of players. Guys who you'd let your daughter date, if you know what I mean. Since you decided to take all of the users who never played a snap in college, well, I just put all the users who submitted their thing in time. That's how I did it. No, we lost by 1! Bruh! Because we only scored 6 in the fourth quarter. We better not have missed an extra point. Malik Willis finally throws an interception. I think that's his first one. He actually outplayed Tom Brady. 85%! So he did play better than Brady. So I'm not too sad. Antonio Gibson was also quite a bit better than McCaffrey. Why did Philip Dorsett get 15 goddamn carries? What is this? No. Do not give Philip Dorsett the ball anymore because it clearly does not work. Mecole Hardman with a big game. Antonio Brown and Nico Collins both played well. Henry Ruggs also scores. Eagles today. Eagles will be tomorrow. That's what I'll... And there will be a prospect profile. I did get some work done on the draft class today, and I'm probably going to finish it tonight, finally. Shock Sanders. Is Shock Sanders a defensive back? Because I haven't made any of the defensive backs. I did the linebackers this morning, and I'm doing the defensive backs tonight. So, I don't know who Shock Sanders is, but if he's a defensive back, then that would probably be why. We already saw that game, yeah. We've seen most of them. The Aviators stay hot. They only have 1 loss, right? They lost week 1 and have not lost since. Columbus is legit, guys. They're legit. And the Dolphins have been playing really well, too. Marcus Mariota with a nice .3 passer rating. Can we see Sam Howell start, please? Oh, my God, he was bad. It's kind of hard to have a .3 passer rating. That's like Josh Allen in the wild card game of OFL 20 bad. Jeez. He's a corner. Then that explains a lot. Yeah, that's why I don't know who he is. Dorsett's trying to be the next Debo. But the problem is, in order to be the next Debo, you have to be good. And it looks like he was not good. And it's not like our run blocking was bad because Antonio Gibson had 100 yards plus. Hector would not have outplayed Malik. He would have outplayed Tom Brady, maybe. But we don't slander King Malik. Oh, they almost beat Cleveland! That would have been so funny. They lost by 2. Wow. Both QBs played well. Matt Corral with a good game. Brady Boatwell actually played pretty well. But Javonte Williams and DeAndre Swift ran loose. So it looks like the issue for Brooklyn today was the run game on both sides of the ball. Because Javonte and Swift combined for over 200. Nice amount specifically for Swift. While Fee Riley averaged 2.2 yards per carry. Jamar Chase was great. So was Mike Williams. Odell Beckham III also played pretty well. I should do another 2K Hoops Dynasty and then finish off Beyonce. Well, the problem is, Chief, I already have 4 series, which is a lot. So I'm just speaking hypothetically. If I did 6, I'd be like 1 a week. That just doesn't feel like enough. Yeah, your playbook should be Baltimore. Although, even in the Ravens playbook, if you did that to have more QB runs, there still aren't a ton of QB runs in that playbook that happen in the sim, which is dumb. Because there's plenty of designed QB runs in Baltimore's playbook. The OFL has never had a winless team. Never. Although this year, we have 3, and we're like halfway through. Yeah, Madden is just weird with the QB runs. I think having the Ravens playbook makes it better for QB runs in watched games. But in the sim, there's still not a lot, which is dumb, again, but I didn't check if the Broncos... Oh, yeah, you're right. I didn't see that score. Well, it looks like they did win, according to the standings. But, yeah, you're right. How did I skip over? Oh, because we used Washington. I thought we used London. Is that the only game that I missed? I don't remember seeing Atlanta. Okay, they had a bye week. That's why. So the Broncos did beat the Chiefs. Denver is 7-1. They're really good. Russell Wilson is balling. Hey, Kenny Pickett actually got to make 2 throws. Josh Allen was meh. Broncos need David Montgomery back. Zach Charbonnet has not been very good. Seems like he scores a lot, but he averages consistently under 4 yards a carry. 5 tackles for loss for Jadeveon Clowney, 4 for Chris Jones. Yeah, Denver can't really run the ball. That's really their only weakness. Trade your whole roster for me. Ross actually being good. We're not used to that here. Okay, now that we've seen that score, let's take a look at the standings. So we have 3 one-loss teams, all in the AFC. Denver, Columbus, and Cleveland. So in the AFC North, it looks like it's going to be a dogfight. The Aviators and Browns are both 6-1. The Shamrocks are good too, and Baltimore's not a bad team either. They have one of the better defenses in the league. So this is, I don't know if I'd say it's the best division, but it might be. It's a really good division. AFC South might be one of the worst divisions, although the Oklahoma City Bison are a good team. They're 5-3. The Tigers are not too far behind at 4-4. The AFC East is a disaster. But it's a fun disaster. The Patriots and Dolphins are 4-4, and the Red Hot Jets, who have won 3 of 4, are right back in the mix. The AFC West, it seems like 2 teams are really rising above the crop, that being the Broncos and the Pioneers. The Chiefs have lost 3 in a row, and the Chargers have been unimpressive on defense. In the NFC North, the Huskies have overtaken the Vikings for first place. The Lions and Bears have lost multiple games in a row. So everybody's streaking on a downwards trend, and then you have the Huskies who won 5 in a row. Saints, Falcons, and Bucks all within a couple games of each other in the South, with Carolina in the gutter. Washington leads London by a game in the East. And then in the West, the Cardinals and Seahawks are pretty close. Wait, I thought the Seahawks won. Wait, so they lost and Kyler Murray threw 5 touchdowns. I could have sworn they won. Huh. Oh well. Got the Rams in the gutter. Niners coming off a big win. We'll see if they can do something. All right, so we'll take a look at players of the week, and then we'll start talking about the awards before we get into week 9. So, weekly award winners, Kyler Murray, Joe Mixon, Kyer Elam, and Asante Samuel Jr. Did you play in the preseason? Probably, I would think. Here, let's see how many snaps you've gotten. 149. Yeah, you've definitely played in the preseason because you have a whopping 34 here. I guess probably as the launch snapper. All right, so as we go through the QB stats here, Kyler with 21 touchdowns and 1 interception is quite there. So he is the highest passer rating of all the starters, but technically Elijah Chisholm is ahead of him. After Kyler, we have Josh Allen, Ryan Tannehill, who still's not throwing an interception, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, Malik Willis, Joe Burrow. Yeah, so that's probably the cream of the crop MVP-wise. Then these guys down here, maybe not so much. But these players are doing fine. And then as we get down here in the Zach Wilson, Josh Rosen, Jordan Love territory, not so much. I think sorting by touchdowns can also be a good indicator. So I would say Kyler's probably MVP right now. Mixon. Burrow is in the discussion. Allen is in the discussion. Really all these guys up here. We'll briefly scroll through the other stats. So Mixon is the leading rusher, but Chubb averages more per game. In yards, it's Courtland Sutton. That totally doesn't really surprise me. He's had some really big games this year. Reception leader is also Courtland Sutton. So he's just been balling the hell out. And then touchdowns is Hunter Henry, TJ Hawkinson, and Odell Beckham with 7 apiece. Who has allowed the most sacks? Jermaine Ifedi and Evan Neal with 9 each. I had a feeling Ikem Ekwonu was going to be pretty high. Matt Milano is the tackle leader. We'll go by conference for the defensive stats because that's easier. The Tigers' wide receiver 1 is Mecole Hardman, and they also have Jamison Williams. Clowney and Tyquan Lewis. Wow, he has 8 sacks? Jesus Christ. DeMarcus Lawrence has 12.5. So he's the defensive player of the year favorite, right? I mean, who else could it be? 12.5 sacks through 8 games. He's on pace to finish with 27. Does he have X Factor? He is superstar. So he's doing that without X Factor. That's really impressive. Yannick Ngakoue and Nick Bosa with 9. Jadeveon Clowney and Chandler Jones with 8. Josh Allen with 7. Jair Alexander and Kendall Sheffield with 4 interceptions apiece. Fumble forces 2 for Vita Vea, Isaiah Simmons, and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah has 2 recoveries. For the NFC, I better see Myles Garrett at the top of this list. 14 TFLs for Cam Jordan, 13 for Mo Hurst. 11.5 sacks for Emmanuel Ogbah. Wow, I didn't realize he was having that good of the year. Make another save file of my career simulation. Well, here's the problem. I think I mentioned it earlier. I'm not made of time, unfortunately. So, yeah. 3 interceptions for Anthony Brown, Fred Warner, and Kendall Fuller. Fred Warner's putting up numbers across the board. He's a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Aaron Donald, Alex Anzalone, and Jamal Adams with 2 fumble forces. Nobody has more than 1 recovery. And then here's my favorite. Kicking. Jack Fox has made the most field goals. Has anyone been perfect? Chris Blewett, ironic. Will Lutz, Jason Sanders, Ryan Suckup, and Kyer Vevdik. Along with Andre Smith, but he has not even attempted an extra point. Younghoe Koo has not missed a field goal, but he did miss an extra point, so he's not perfect. Evan McPherson is in last. What is his rating? 77. That's pretty good. He's the 12th ranked kicker. Huh. AJ Cole has punted at the most. The least is Tress Way and Braden Mann. Highest average is Jamie Gillian. That makes sense. He is pretty busy. Most punts into 20 is Cameron Niesliak. I've never heard of this guy in my life. Once the Orioles is... I don't know anything about UFC or wrestling or any of that. I know nothing. Evan McPherson being on the Rams is kind of ironic. So the MVP favorite is Kyler Murray. It's not a huge surprise. Wow, Jalen Hurts is in 3rd. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but I'm a little bit surprised by that. DeMarcus Lawrence is in 9th, and he does deserve it. But I don't know how much longer he's going to stay out there. I also know nothing about WWE. I know nothing about wrestling. Wow, Snoop Dogg is 1st for Coach of the Year. Huh. Funny. Josh Allen and DeMarcus Lawrence are the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Year favorites. Zach Charbonnet, how is he 1st? He's been awful. I know he has scored a lot, but how is he 1st? He's averaging like 3 yards per carry. He has 12 touchdowns. Holy cow. He still doesn't deserve it, but how does he have 12 touchdowns? He's not even the starter. It's because David Montgomery is hurt. Huh. Well, I imagine Matt Corral's going to pass him, and Elijah Chisholm's definitely going to get up there. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Kayvon Thibodeau, and then we'll briefly go through the other ones. Can I trade my coach? No, you cannot trade your coach. Only LeBron James can do that. NFC Offensive Player of the Year favorite is Kyler Murray. Defensive Player of the Year favorite Emmanuel Ogbah. Yes, Malik Willis, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Is he the only starting quarterback in our conference who's a rookie? I guess so. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Kyer Elam. See, I like him. Jalen Hurts is 3rd for MVP. I don't think you guys need a quarterback. He's 3rd in MVP. He's 2nd in Offensive Player of the Year in the conference. Not being top 3 is just disrespectful. I mean, he hasn't been that good, though. I mean, it's weird for a quarterback not to be in the top 3, but I'm not going to act like these numbers are impressive. I mean, he had a good game this week. Jason Kidd got traded once, and he's a coach. Yeah, but a player can't trade his coach. Again, unless your name is LeBron James. Okay, let's figure out what we are going to do for Week 9. So currently, the Black Knights and Bears has the lead. But that game did not have the lead as we went into the stream, and we've already watched the Black Knights today. So here are your choices. If you would like to watch... So the 2 games we're deciding between are the Black Knights and Bears and Chiefs and Tigers. If you would like to watch the Black Knights and the Bears, type in pineapple. If you would like to watch the Chiefs and the Tigers, type in blueberry. Whichever game gets more votes, we're going to watch. This is my tiebreaker. I'm seeing a ton of pineapple. 1 vote for pineapple, 2 for pineapple, 3 for pineapple, 2 for blueberry, 3 for blueberry, 4 for pineapple, 4 for blueberry, 5 for blueberry, 6 for blueberry. Okay, so it looks like blueberry has won. I think I only counted everybody once. I think I got it right. So, you guys made it hard because you all typed it in like 7 times. So it looks like we're going to watch the Chiefs and the Tigers. Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 2. 2. So we will use her. I think the Tigers are home. Jax has been here like the whole time. Or for a large majority of the time. Oh, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Oh, I thought you were talking about Boatwell. Okay. I don't even know what Scoota's numbers are, so why don't we take a look at those? I assumed you meant Boatwell. I was like, what? But I don't know what Scoota's doing, so I do kind of want to take a look. Gotta go anyways. Well, thanks for coming in, Chief. So Scoota has 47 tackles, 2 TFLs, and nothing else. I mean, that's fine. I wouldn't say that's, like, good. But who's ahead of him? George Karlaftis, Quay Walker, Perion Winfrey, and Kayvon Thibodeau. Okay, let's take a look at those 4. All right, so Karlaftis is on the Aviators. We'll make this quick. Then we'll watch the game. So Karlaftis has, where is he? 13 tackles, 6 for a loss, 2 sacks. Yeah, I would probably give the edge to Scoota. Quay Walker's on the Broncos. 31, 1, 1, and 1. I would probably give the nod to Quay Walker. Perion Winfrey is on the Bison. He has 18, 4, 3.5. Probably Winfrey. And then Kayvon Thibodeau is in first. He has 8 sacks. No, that's Chandler Jones. He has 5. Okay, I was like, what? Yeah, so I would say Scoota should probably be ahead of Karlaftis, but I think the other 3 are probably placed in the correct order. We'll take a closer look at the rookie stats as we get closer to the end of the year, because we do kind of have to move along here. Jaden Jackson, I think, was like 3rd for the NFC. All right, so we don't really have a ton of choices for the Tigers. So do we want orange jerseys or do we want white jerseys? So Jackson Hector can come up with a choice because it is both of their teams. Although, these orange jerseys are fire. Can you guys please pick them? The white jerseys are cool, but these orange jerseys are sweet. Okay, both of you guys say orange. All right, that's easy enough. Thank you guys for having eyeballs. Ooh, it's Sunday night. So we have 2 primetime games today. That is pretty fitting. So the 4-4 Tigers looking to get over 500, take on the ice-cold Chiefs, who are 4-3, I think? Here, let me fact check on that. I think they're 4-3. They're 4-4. Okay. So both of these teams are looking for a win in a deep AFC where there's a ton of good teams. The Chiefs are in a pretty good division. The Tigers are in a pretty bad division. So I guess if you want to say this game is important for one of these teams, I guess you give the edge to the Chiefs. But the Tigers obviously need a win here too. They want to get above 500. They want to make some noise in the division. And with a win and a Bison loss, I guess they'd be tied for first place. If Riley doesn't make it to an 80, well, that would be pretty hard because he's like a 72. So I don't think I would count on it. Play Estrada, vote for Estrada. Well, that's Jax's choice because he's the coach. Say hypothetically Brady gets injured, then Hector plays and leads him to a win. Well, that'd be something. I think Brady's injury rating is probably pretty high. He's a 74. Okay, well, that's still going to be pretty hard. Say aye if Jack should put in Hector. I'm joining the movement. Just for the memes. Who is we? That's a good question. Yeah, that's it. I've seen enough. Get Hector in the game. Jadeveon Clowney, who's been, according to the stats we've just seen, he has been one of the best defensive players in the league. He's been balling out. Already with a quick sack. This team has Chris Jones, too, I think. They have Chris Jones and Jadeveon Clowney. That's a nasty duo. And there's another X Factor. Who else does this team have? Do they have 2 X Factors on their D-line and Jadeveon Clowney? Hold on. Let me see the roster video. Who else do these guys have? How are they only 4-4? This team is loaded. And the craziest part is Meals let the Sim draft his team. The Sim did better than all of us. Good first down for Mecole Hardman. All right, I have to see the Chiefs roster. Who else do they have next to Chris Jones? Fletcher Cox. Holy cow, they have Chris Jones, Fletcher Cox, who, for those who were here in OFL 20, Fletcher Cox was on the Chiefs, and he was a beast. And they have Jadeveon Clowney. This is like the Chiefs' defensive line in 20, when they had Fletcher Cox, who was, like, insane. They had Big Tuna, and they had J.J. Watt. Buckner, I think, plays for the Falcons. Hector would have turned that into a touchdown. How are we supposed to block that? That is a good question. Although I guess if anybody's going to navigate pressure like that, it's going to be number 12, who happens to kiss his son on the lips. I hope that injury timeout said Brady. Well, since this is a video game, we can root for all the injuries we want, and it's not messed up, although Brady's playing pretty well. You really think Riley can't get 6? I mean, it's possible, but, I mean, 6 skill points is not easy to get. Especially if he's not playing all that well. Here's a good move by McCaffrey. When that said Malcolm Tremblay rushing yards, for a second, I thought Malcolm Tremblay was on this team. But they have Malcolm Tremblay on steroids with McCaffrey. Brady's dotting this defense up. Who needs Hector Estrada when you've got Thomas Patrick Edward Brady II? Or is it Thomas Patrick Edward Brady Jr.? I don't know. It's one of those. Yeah, since he has hit it, I think it's possible. He'll be close. I think he'll get at least 3. But I don't know if he'll get 6. First and goal. Brady with a smart throw. Ooh, I thought that was a touchdown. Remember one time when Book Drop 40 saw a tweet by a dude saying how he wanted Booker to end up like Kobe's helicopter. Well, that's probably messed up. That's not probably messed up. That is messed up. I was going to say something else, but I didn't. That's not cool. You know what is cool? Nice touchdown by Christian McCaffrey there to put the Tigers on the board. If he only gets 3, he's gone. That's a new one. Gone. Everyone wants to see Estrada play. Well, everyone's not the coach. Jax makes the decisions for this team. So every human being on the planet could want to see Estrada play. If Jax wants Brady in there, it's going to be Brady. Although I think if Terry McLaurin walked up to him and told him, make Hector the starter, he probably would do that. That was me. I did something. I walked by Brady. Aren't you special? Nick struggles with grammar. Another day, and you still haven't made better content. What is it with you? Not sure the problem is, but you will be getting removed from my YouTube subscriptions. Hope you know I'm serious. Can I copy and paste that and put that into Twitter and see how many people have used that? If Terry tells me, then yes. See? I figured. But if everybody on the planet except for Terry wants Estrada and Jax wants Brady, then it'll be Brady. Okay, that's a lie. Everybody except for Terry and Josh Giddey. You will be gone if you keep correcting my grammar. Got him. Terry, tell him to put me in. Well, technically, Terry should be rooting for my team because I have Terry. And Terry's having fun on the injury report. Only found this one early. There you go. Who the balls is Terry? Terry is Terry McLaurin. who plays wide receiver on Malik Willis's OFL team. Terry knocks at Jax's door and says, "Start Estrada." What if Terry came with Josh Giddey? Jax would probably bust a good one. If Terry told Jax to kill Giddey, he'd do it. If Terry told Jax to kill anybody except for Giddey, maybe. Is Boston Scott their running back? I thought they had somebody else. Maybe he's hurt. Another good play for Kansas City. I was just plugging in my controller. That's why you didn't hear me for about 10 seconds. I would never kill the best player in the NBA. Good, so Cade Cunningham survives. Jax would bust if Terry and Giddey were at his door. He would. And if I was him, with all due respect, I probably would as well. We'll probably let them bust in him. Hey, yo! This took a turn. He didn't deny it. That's true. All right, so that'll end the first quarter. A lot of offense so far. The Tigers moved down the field, scored a touchdown, and Kansas City is looking to do the same, and they're awfully close in the red zone. Tom Brady and Josh Allen both unsurprisingly look quite good. Kobe is the best NBA player of all time. Well, he had Shaq. Those Lakers teams were stacked. It's not like he played with scrubs. And then when he won his other championship, he had Paul Gasol, Lamar Odom. Those teams were good. So, no. His Lakers teams were better than the 2020 team that won. If you remove Kobe, and if you remove from the early 2000s Lakers, and if you remove LeBron from the bubble Lakers, the 2000s team would win by about 30, with everybody in their prime. As much as I love Taylor Horton Tucker, the 2000s team would blow them out of the water. Hector is a multi-sport athlete. What, he can play rugby? We stand Ben Simmons. No, Ben Simmons sits. Literally, he sits. He doesn't stand. He sits. He sits on the couch. Punctuations exist. Yeah, but we don't use punctuations. If Kyle Pitts, who's Marty Ice? That's a new one. Ice Trey, Acuna, Tank Bigsby, Jabari Smith, Walker. That's a lot of people. Walker Kessler and Katie Johnson. Lord, I'd do some devious things with them. I feel like Jabari Smith would be an interesting guy to, I'm not going to elaborate. That'd be a bad idea. Put me in quick. Be shooting hoops on the bench. Well, he's not shooting. That's a problem. In order to shoot hoops on the bench, you actually have to be shooting. And I don't think Mr. Benjamin Simmons is doing that. Estrada is obviously Pablo Sanchez's great-grandnephew. The following sentence was not racially motivated. Oh, yeah, Hector plays baseball. That's right. Because he's a... I don't want to say anything I shouldn't, so I won't. I'm a Knicks fan, but I'm happy for Philly. Hope they win a title with James Harden. I feel like the Nets might be better, though. Because Ben Simmons is just too good of a fit. He's pretty much what Draymond Green is to Golden State, but without the basketball IQ, which is obviously a big part of Draymond's game. But he'll be like that Swiss Army knife who can run the offense, who's an unbelievable defender, who's a great playmaker, and just doesn't score. So minus the smarts on the court and I guess being likable, Ben Simmons is going to be what Draymond Green does, which is, like, perfect for them. And obviously, you still got the Bulls, you still got the Heat, you still got the Bucks, and you still have Cade Cunningham. So, those two teams have a lot to get past. I just know Katie Johnson is a demon in bed. How do you know this? That sack was Hector's play calling. I'm sure it was. Credit to Hector Estrada Jr. for being not only the backup quarterback, but apparently this team's defensive coordinator. Was that your play calling too, or only on first down? Because that coverage was a big old yikes. But former Diablo, Deontay Harris, tried to sneak into cunning fraud. You're wrong. We don't talk about that. There you go. 2nd and 1. I don't think he got it. Seriously, is Boston Scott actually their starting running back? Hold on. I feel like they have someone else. They have to. Although Boston Scott hasn't played that bad today. But they have to have someone else. Who's just injured? Oh, they have Marlon Mack. That's right, and he's out for the year. Okay, that's why Boston Scott's playing. That makes a lot more sense. Imagine Beef Stew and Mobley on the same team. That'd be an interesting thing. I don't really know how that would work. But that would be an interesting experiment. And I guess if we didn't win the draft lottery, maybe we would know. Is Jax even here? Maybe Jax is dialed in to watching his defense get ran down the field by Josh Allen and Boston Scott. Personally can't say, but I'm sure the college gold digger's going to give it an opinion. There you go. Trae Young and Simmons in the same backcourt. More like Simmons being in the same backcourt with the thing he's scared of. Is that Deontay Harris, the former Diablo? That guy looks awfully short, so it has to be Deontay Harris. The Kansas City Chiefs take the lead with 2:37 left in the half. Harris, wide receiver of the year. I mean, he hasn't been the best, but he's up there. He's been really good. That's why we should start Hector. Imagine being short. Ironic. Oh, is he actually first for the AFC? I didn't realize that. Is he at first? That was a ballsy throw. Deontay Harris is, in fact, in first place for the best receiver in the AFC. There you go. I'm 5'10" at 10 years old. One of those is Cap, and I don't know which one, but one of those is. And it's probably the former. Good play for the rookie, Jamison Williams, who's having himself a very solid year. Ooh, I thought that said fumble for a second. I was like, what? But no, just a 2-minute warning. Imagine my hidden... Well, your hidden dev can't be normal. That's, like, impossible. So... Oh, a deep shot! Brady! Ooh, that was a good play by the corner. That was a good throw. But the wide receiver kind of ran out of juice, and the corner played that ball perfectly. McCaffrey is wide open on the screen. That was really bad defense. That was not good, like, at all. And he still almost got stopped, but he's Christian McCaffrey, so. As Ben Jones is hurt for the Tigers, that forces them to call an injury timeout. Play action fake. Brady has all day with a moonshot for a wide open receiver. Miko Hardman had nobody on him. Just said you're 5'10". Major cap alert. It's better for both of us. Well, considering Tom Brady's been, like, great today, I would probably respectfully disagree. Reading that message just gave me a stroke. That's like not English, Cobra. I can't read any of that. That's not English. Nice touchdown for who has good hair on this team? Blake Jarwin with a minute. I lied. I'm 5'2", 340. Hector Estrada's taken the hefty lefty to a whole new meaning. Although I think his player in the game is a righty. I think. The hefty righty doesn't sound as fun, though. I guess since he hasn't thrown a pass, we could make him a lefty. Copra speaking gibberish. I just pressed for recommended words about 15 times. Well, that makes a lot more sense. I thought that was another copy pasta. You're right, I don't want you. Got him! Chiefs call timeout number 1. We'll see if they can take the lead before halftime. This has been a good game, which isn't really a surprise. I was expecting it to be a good game. They're burning their timeouts quick. I mean, at least they're using them in a timely manner. Josh Allen takes a shot down field, and it is incomplete. I couldn't tell if he caught that. No, he didn't. Okay. Both quarterbacks have been great. They should probably call that timeout now. I would just use it. Or you can waste 10 seconds and then use it because you're a bunch of idiots. Down to 20 seconds and no timeouts. What do? A 5-yard pass up the field. Oh, no, it wasn't 5 yards. It was 0 yards. What a great way to end the first half. So both quarterbacks, Josh Allen and Tom Brady, are dueling. Tied at 14. Both of them are playing out of their minds. If the Wizards want to trade all of their picks for Patrick Mahomes, why would they use the most valuable of those 2 picks to just get Hector Estrada? Although I think the Wizards should probably not trade their picks at all, because those are going to be high picks. I would just rather trade them all for Mahomes than an unproven commodity. Well, jet sweep, I think, for Deontay Harris again. Although it counts as a pass. Nice play, I think, by Vita Vea, right? Who else would have launched Samoan hair on this team? Yeah, if Garrett can trade a 5 and a 7 for his QB, who's been bowling out, I don't know about 2-1s. 3rd and 12, Allen with a deep shot. What a throw! Oh my goodness, that was a dot! Josh Allen is playing out of his mind. And what's impressive is you can make the argument that he hasn't even been the best quarterback today. Because Tom Brady's been on his level. This is why I'm racist. Oh. Okay, then. I'm racist because Josh Allen makes great throws. What? Okay, the Boston Scott honeymoon is over. He's had, like, on his last 4 carries, he's gotten, like, nothing. Third and 4. Allen under pressure and is sacked by Joe Tryon Shainka. Kansas City does make the field goal, so they are now on top. I am the commissioner, that's true. Put me in yourself. Here's the problem. I'm actually fair to my coaches, so no. Field goal. There was definitely a field goal in that play. I think that's Chris Jones who's hurt. Yep. That's a big deal. Brady's been in the zone for what feels like the entire game. And that's not good news for the team on the other side. Oh, it's a fumble! I think he was down, though. But if he's not down, this is a huge turnover for Kansas City Chiefs. As now the backup for Chris Jones, Greg Gaines, is injured. Oh, dude, Goodell. I think it looked like he was down, though. So I'm expecting this play to be reviewed and then overturned. Yeah, whenever they review fumbles, it's always overturned. Yep. His knee's down, his elbow's down. There you go. Every second, I hope those red notifications say injury timeout, T. Brady. I think he has one of the highest injury ratings in the game, though. So, I really would be surprised if he gets injured. Although it is possible. So the play is obviously reversed to no one's surprise. Whenever they review a fumble, it always is reversed. Whenever they review if somebody catches it in bounds, the play always stands. Always. Madden is like scripted when it comes to reviewing fumbles and passes caught in bounds. It's literally scripted. Yeah, outside of his knee injury in 2008, I don't remember the last time he's like actually missed games because of an injury. Good play from Mecole Hardman. Both him and Jameson Williams have had nice days. Brady saw an invisible person over there. And said, yeah, I'll throw it there on the screen pass. Because Tom Brady can do what Tom Brady wants. Mecole Hardman has 50 catches this year. That means he's on pace for like 100. Because this is the halfway mark of the year. Handoff for McCaffrey. Okay, gets a first. Put me in the red zone, let me throw my first touchdown. Well, I mean, they have McCaffrey, so he'll do it himself. Remember when Sam Darnold was seeing ghosts? What do you mean was? He still is. First and goal, Brady does get it in. The Tigers are on top. That's Mecole Hardman with the score. Brady was like, I'm not going to let Hector throw this touchdown. They've ran 30 plays and 24 of them have been passes. And they have Christian McCaffrey on their team. I mean, their offense has been good. It's working, okay? It's working. But they've only ran it 6 times. The Tigers are going to be in the hunt for the playoffs probably the entire season. So I don't think we'll get to a point in the season where they're pretty much out and they want to get Hector some playing time. ETN as well is on this team. Yeah, he's their slot guy. That's right. They've got talent across the board. I seriously don't know which QB's been better. Because they've both been nuts. I mean, I guess it is Josh Allen and Tom Brady. It's not like it's a surprise, but they have both been outstanding. I don't know how these teams are only 500. Particularly the Tigers, because they're in a bad division. Third and 3. They got it, although Laviska Shenault was doing his best to not get the first down by running backwards. As Vita Vea is now injured. You've never missed the playoffs. Wow, that is impressive. And the Caps were pretty bad before you became their coach. Because I remember I was thinking when you got them, I was like, why would he pick the Caps? The Caps have never been good. But that's impressive. Playbooks, probably. I guess so. I mean, I guess bad luck. Although Jax, for the most part, has been a pretty lucky coach in his OFL career. Albeit, we know Madden can love coaches and then start to hate them. Look at Apple. Madden loved Apple. In OFL 20, for those of you who were here, Madden loved Apple. Loved him. And then in 21, Madden hated him. So, it's weird. The only person Madden has always loved is me. Oh my goodness, another incredible throw by Josh Allen. Josh Allen has had more wow throws than Brady, but I feel like Brady has, I don't know, they've both just been unreal. They just need to throw the ball every play. They're not running it very well. And Josh Allen's been nuts. That'll end the third quarter. You guys should probably get your popcorn because I think this fourth quarter is going to be an exciting one. The Tigers lead by 4, but Kansas City has them in a red zone with an opportunity to take the lead. They do have an early third down. 3rd and 1 from the 10. Oh, he dropped it. I would go for it. Yes, I think this is the right call. Field goal would still have them losing. I think this is the right call. And sure enough, they got it to the 1. That was a ballsy decision. And it worked for Coach Burrow and the Chiefs. And then on 1st and goal, they punched it in, I guess, with Boston Scott. The Chiefs really have Boston Scott and Deontay Harris, who are probably the 2 shortest players in the league. That's kind of funny. So now Kansas City leads 24-21. So now we get to see what Mr. Brady can do. How did the Chiefs have a momentum bar all the way filled up? I feel like it's just been back and forth. It's in Chicago, so wouldn't the home team have an easier chance of moving it towards them? Yeah, this has probably been the game of the year so far. We've had some wild endings, like obviously the Hail Mary with the Lions and the Beats. The Vikings-Bears game was a wild ending. The Vikings-Washington ending was pretty wild. I love how 2 of the 3 games I said involved my team losing. But this game has been like great since the start. And I would expect by default we're going to have a fun ending. My team's been playing better because I don't have a 59 overall starting in center. Plus you got a quarterback. I love how you say I have a quarterback when Elijah Chisholm is like 12 ratings worse than Jameis Winston. Not that you're wrong, because obviously Chisholm has been way better. Now Fletcher Cox is hurt. They've lost Cox, Chris Jones, and their backup to both of them with Greg Gaines. Is Chris Jones back in the game? No. So they're without their 3 best defensive tackles. That should have been intercepted. That was close. Loss of 2 for CMC as Ikiyor is hurt for Chicago, and it's now 3rd and 12. This is a big play. If they don't get it, they're going to have to punt. With how good both of these offenses have been, you can't really afford to punt in here in the 4th quarter. Ooh, that was an awesome throw. I thought there was no way that was going to work. Wow. Yeah, the Ravens-Browns ending was great, too. That game was a little bit not as exciting throughout, but the 4th quarter, since it was close, and obviously overtime was very exciting, too, with the Jamar Chase catch. Now it seems like they trust McCaffrey a little bit more, although he's been unimpressive on the ground. Again, McCaffrey does not get a whole lot, about 3. So now we've got a big 3rd and 4 at 27. The Tigers are in field goal range, but I don't think they're thinking field goal. Brady goes short for McCaffrey, who gets 1. They got to take the points. Yeah. You got to take the points and tie it. From 43, he looked like he could have made that from 63. So now we're tied at 24. And now things have gotten real. So the Chiefs get it back. They're not losing. This feels like the first time all day that somebody has had the ball and is not losing. I forgot they had Joey Sly. No wonder it looked like he could have made it from 63. It's been weird watching the Chiefs and not rooting against them, because that's kind of what I'm used to with OFL 21. I'm used to wanting the Chiefs to lose. Now, like with this game, I'm pretty indifferent. I just want a good game, and that's what it's been. Ooh, there's a good play for Chenault. Down the field. He brings it to the 24. Josh Allen has been carving this defense up alive. This game is nuts, and just think of it. The ending is going to be wild, probably. We only have 3.5 minutes. This is the good part. Yet it feels like the whole game has been crazy. Allen still is all day. He's also in the zone. For the end zone. Okay, not for the end zone. For the 1-yard line. He has 377 yards today. He's been a machine. Kids, this is why you need a good quarterback. I know in the OFL we've seen a lot of not good quarterbacks play well, but these are 2 highly rated X-Factor QBs who are just dominating. Play action, they got it. The Kansas City Chiefs have taken the lead. I don't know who 82 is. Adam Troutman. All right, Adam Troutman puts the Chiefs on top. So now we got to see what Tom Brady can do with under 3 minutes. Can he lead his team down the field? They have 2:44. That's more than enough time. Time is not the question here. The question is, will they actually do it? As Tom starts in the zone, that's a pretty significant development here. Gain of 13. That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. The Chiefs are up by 7, but the Tigers had the ball, and their offense has been really good in this game. Uh-oh, Brady is sacked. He lost 14. That's a rare Tom Brady play where he runs backwards and doesn't throw it away. Now 2nd and 24. Good throw, makes up a lot of the yardage, and then some. So now it's a 3rd and manageable. That's all the Tigers needed on that play. Just make it to where you can feasibly get the first down. Brady chucks it up. Downfield, and it's caught inside the 20. As Trayvon Walker is hurt. Who caught that? It had to have been, Hardman or Williams. It is Mecole Hardman. It was 8 catches for 152 yards. He has been a beast today. He's been better than McCaffrey. As they go short, I believe that's Jameson Williams. Now, why would they go to auto? They should chew clock. Well, they do get the touchdown, so there we go. It's now tied. Why is Devin White on the field? It's caught by Akins. I forget his first name. I think his name is Jordan Akins, but I don't know. So the Chiefs have a minute left. Do we think they're going to drive down the field and finish off the job? With how their offense is played, I would probably bet yes. But a minute and 2 timeouts is not a whole lot of time. Devin White, tight end 1. Like in the Eagles series, when we go into like those goal line play action pass packages, sometimes there's like an offensive lineman on the field, but not a linebacker. Although I guess if you want any defensive player in the entire league on offense, it probably is Devin White, because he was recruited to LSU to play running back. So I guess if you're going to put someone on defense there, it's going to be Devin White. So all the Chiefs need is a field goal. Who's their kicker? Jake Elliott. Jake Elliott is a boot. There aren't many other kickers who I would rather in this situation than Jake Elliott. Why are we reviewing a 7-yard pass? When I said earlier, whenever they're reviewing to see if somebody had their feet in bounds, the play always stands. And indeed, 1, 2. Yeah, he very clearly got it. I don't know why we need to review. And unsurprisingly, the play stands. I told you guys, those types of reviews are scripted. Every review in Madden is scripted. In NCAA, it's a little bit less obvious, but in Madden, you pretty much always know. Allen is throttled to the ground by Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. That's a big play. That's huge. And now there's 20 seconds. They're chewing clock. Josh Allen's just going to need to heave it up or do that. That was risky. All right, so it doesn't look like anybody's going to run out of a play. So it appears we are headed to overtime. We've had some pretty wild overtime games this season. I think this is already our 4th. We've had an overtime game in, I think, every stream except for 1. We had one last stream. That was the Kellen Mond comeback. Tails never fails. Oh, it's heads. Oh. Wouldn't be the first time Josh Allen's lost a coin toss because of picking tails. I'm sorry, I had to make the joke. Week 4 was overtime. The Jamar Chase touchdown catch when he lost the defender. Obviously, week 1, we definitely know what happened there. The Hail Mary. Ravens Aviators was overtime? I don't remember that game going in OT. Yeah, no, that was a close game, but it wasn't overtime. You can tell in NCAA by the way the ref is facing the camera. I did not know that. I'll have to take a look next time I see a review. So since the Tigers start off of the ball, we'll see if Tom Brady can lead his team down the field. Overtime is 6 minutes. In the overtime games we've had this season, some of them came down to the finish. The Kellen Mond game, I think they scored with like 30 seconds left to win. Obviously, the Hail Mary was right at the end. And the Jamar Chase catch, that wasn't overly early in overtime either. I don't even think that was their first drive. Not much for CMC. That'll bring us to a big 3rd down and 5. This play is pretty important, my friends. And Tom Brady clutches up. That's the field goal line, not the first down line, so they got it. I don't know why the field goal line is there, because I know Joey Sly has a big leg, but I don't think he would make it from the 47. That'd be a lawn kick. To the 41, I believe there's Jameson Williams again. They're getting close to field goal range, but again, with Joey Sly, you never really know. Now it's Jarwin. Jarwin is loose. Off to the races, and this game is over. Blake Jarwin walks it off for the Chicago Tigers. Wow. That was the game of the year. This game was unbelievable. Both offenses and both QBs played out of their minds. Who needs Hector Estrada when you've got Josh Allen and Tom Brady? That was a ball game. Wow. Finished off by Blake Jarwin, of all people, outrunning a bunch of defenders. The more you know. Well, that was a fun one. Both QBs were ridiculous. Josh Allen and Tom Brady played out of their minds. One of these two is going to win Offensive Player of the Week. I don't know who. Probably Brady, because his numbers are slightly better in the yards and touchdowns department, but they had pretty much identical passer ratings. They were both nuts. They were both absolutely nuts. Again, nobody really ran the ball well. Blake Jarwin was a beast. Mecole Hardman was a beast. Jameson Williams was a beast. Deontay Harris was a beast. Laviska Shenault, Michael Gallup, O.J. Howard, they were all great. The defenses, on the other hand, not so much. The Chiefs had quite a few injuries, so we'll have to keep our eye on those as we simulate Week 9. Now that we're 9 weeks in, and we have 9 weeks to go, we are halfway through the season. So although we have not simulated Week 9 yet, how does everybody feel with their teams 50% of the way through Season 1? I kind of want to see what happened with the Chiefs. Ben Jones tore his labrum. Oof. What happened with Kansas City? Chris Jones abdominal tear. Greg Gaines abdominal tear. Nothing for Fletcher Cox. That was a straight up shootout. Yep. Can the Niners go 2-0 for the first time? Definitely the first time because they didn't have 2 wins going into today. That's the wrong button. I wanted to go through the scores quick so we didn't see the standings, but I failed. All right, let's see what happened. Please don't lose. Yay! 36-33. How did we almost lose to the Panthers? We let Josh Rosen do that. I don't care that we won. We let Josh Rosen carve us up. Also, what's with the interceptions, Malik? Malik had no interceptions going into today. Now he has 3. Antonio Gibson started off the year slow, but he has been insane since then. Philip Dorsett only had 7 carries. Good. Give the ball to Gibby and get out the way. Antonio Brown with another big game. Jalen Tolbert with about 100 yards. You saw this team lost to Denver, but they didn't lose to the Beats. You guys almost lost to the Beats. You only won by like 2. Khalil Mack, 2 sacks, 1.5 for Frank Clark, 1 for Myles Garrett. Seriously, how did we let Josh Rosen do that on the winless Carolina Panthers? The Wizards lose again, this time to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Maybe they do want Patrick Mahomes. Although maybe they don't, because those picks are pretty valuable. Derrick Henry was quite good. I feel like the Jaguars are going to pick it up, although Kadarius Toney, wow, he was great. I think the Jaguars are going to pick it up. They're a good team. They are in a weak division, although the Tigers and Bison are both pretty good, but they're not, like, spectacular. Yeah, you guys did beat Brooklyn, but not by a whole lot. The Aviators' win streak comes to an end. They lose by 3 touchdowns. 115 passing yards. Okay, I think the Taysom Hill honeymoon phase has ended. I think it might be Carson Strong time. Yeah. Baker Mayfield was good, though. 3 touchdowns. Dalvin Cook was good. Ramondre Stevenson broke off a 51-yarder. Javonte Williams. Yeah, I thought you said Jameson at first. But Javonte Williams is a man amongst boys. He has been insane this year. Wow, Quez Watkins, 2 touchdowns. The Bats. The Bats have a good offense, but their defense clearly is not good. They allowed 14 points, 38, 28, 28, 37, 14, 29, 35, 28. That's not very good. Kind of like the real Cowboys defense, except for last year. Aaron Rodgers was pretty good. Dak Prescott was fine. Kareem Hunt and Miles Sanders were both pretty solid, although Sanders had a low yards per carry. Chris Godwin played well. Gesicki scores twice. Jamison Crowder was great in both games today. Did Atlanta? Oh, Atlanta had a bye week for their first game, so they're, I guess, 1-0 today. The Bears. The Bears lose. The Black Knights remain red hot. They have now won 4 in a row. Yeah, London's legit. Although Jalen Hurts didn't even play well, but Kellen Mond was real bad. Aaron Jones had a big game. Aaron Jones, when he's been healthy this year, which I think he's been a little bit on and off, but when he's been healthy, he's been very good. At least in the sim. In watch games, he's been kind of bad. James Robinson was solid. Terrace Marshall with another good game. He's been better than A.J. Brown, who had 2 for 18. Joe Jackson, 1.5 sacks, 2 interceptions for Travarius Ward. The Beats lose again. So Brooklyn is now 0-9. And Brady Boatwell was not good at all today. Neither was Justin Fields. I did not mean to click that. Take 101, keep us in a good position to make the postseason. And with the Aviators losing, that would mean that you guys are still tied for first. We'll see how the Shamrocks did, because they're not too far behind either. So Brooklyn, no matter what, will finish under 500. Which I guess isn't a massive surprise. We kind of saw that coming for a while. But the Bison lose to the Lions. So the Lions, who have lost a bunch in a row, get back on track. Ryan Tannehill was good again. Was Tannehill one of the QBs who hasn't thrown an interception yet? I know Deshaun Watson was, but now he has. A.J. Dillon was great. Who needs Alvin Kamara when you've got A.J. Dillon? Deontay Johnson with a big game. Pat Freiermuth was very good. Isaiah McKenzie with a 76-yarder. George Kittle scores twice. I don't think there's a problem. I mean, you guys aren't bad. You're just not, like, great. What are you guys, 5-4? Yeah, 5-4 is pretty good. That's tied for first in the division. The Broncos beat the Browns 28-14. So Denver is now 8-1. Denver looks like a legit contender right now. Russell Wilson has been very impressive. I will say Matt Corral has really improved the past couple of weeks. He's definitely improved as the season has gone along. When is David Montgomery coming back? They give Zach Charbonnet the ball so much, and he always has such bad yards per carry. It's so weird. Where's Swift? You gotta feed Swift the ball, Cleveland. No wonder you guys lost. Nobody was overly impressive in the receiving game. 3 TFLs for David Ojabo. 1 sack for Josh Allen and an interception for Jamin Davis. Did we see the Bucs? We did not. They beat New Orleans. Wow. Okay, maybe the Bucs are kind of good. Trey Lance is not kind of good this year. He's thrown 12 picks. That's a lot. Devin Singletary was pretty solid. He scores twice. Devontae Adams was very good. Hunter Henry with a solid performance as well. The Bucs aren't a whole lot lower than New Orleans and I guess Atlanta as well. So this could be an interesting three-way race in the NFC South with the Panthers very much so bringing up the rear. The Cardinals beat the Pioneers. Are the Pioneers being exposed as frauds? Salt Lake City went 0-2 today. Carson Wentz outplays Joe Burrow. So maybe the Pioneers are not as good as we thought. Maybe it's because their jerseys are too good. Trey Lance was my MVP pick. I was deciding between Trey Lance and Jordan Love, and I think it's fair to say that both of those are huge swings and misses. Although Love is starting to play a little bit better, I was very, very wrong. The Dolphins had a bye week. Hopefully that'll convince them to start Sam Howell. The Falcons, when we saw that. Washington had a much-needed bye week. The Niners do go 2-0, although beating the Rams is not as exciting as beating the Pioneers, but a win's a win. Sam Darnold, again, was kind of bad. Jordan Love was pretty below average. He was actually worse than Darnold. Nick Chubb was good again. Love ran for 2 touchdowns. Poor IT Thomas. Man can't win anywhere. Maybe IT is the reason why his teams lose. Because they have not won a single game this year. Cole Beasley was very good. Hunter Renfrow was good as well. I mean, 2 guys who, sneaky athletes. First guy in, last guy out. I'd let my daughter date both. Okay, maybe not Cole Beasley. But, I mean, guys who you normally let your daughter date, unless their name is Cole Beasley. Those guys are sneaky fast. They're not the biggest, but they're good, respectable character guys. And they have nothing else in common. Nothing at all. The Giants lose to Seattle 21-36. The MVP favorite, Kyler Murray, with another MVP type of game. You have 2 90-plus corners and Cole Beasley still at 150 yards. Mac Jones was good, too. McCorkle Jones had 2 very good games today. Kelvin Harmon had a big day. So did Marquez Callaway, who has had quite the stream. Who needs Cole Beasley when you have Marquez Callaway? The Huskies, do they win another one? They don't, because they had a bye week. The Jets also had a bye week. The Lions won. Panthers lost. The Patriots beat the Shamrocks. So New England started the year off hot, then got cold. Now they're hot again. Trevor Lawrence was very good. Lamar Jackson was okay. He wasn't bad. Damian Harris and Tony Pollard were both fine. Amari Cooper was pretty good. Zach Pascal also over 100 yards. And Garrett Wilson had another great game. He has been a great addition to their offense. Just like he's going to be in real life. I saw a mock draft that had us getting Wilson at 34. I don't know how to feel about that because that guy was definitely wrong. But I also wouldn't be too upset about that. So, that might be everybody. Yep, all right. We'll take a look at the standings. We'll take a look at the weekly awards, injuries, and then that'll do it. So the Broncos are now the only team with 1 loss, and the 3 winless teams are still winless. They've been the only 3 winless teams for like 3 streams at this point. So the Aviators and Browns and Shamrocks all lose. Pretty good day to be the Baltimore Ravens here in Week 9. In the AFC South, the Tigers are now tied with Bison. Jaguars are making up some ground. New England takes advantage of the Dolphins and Jets both having bye weeks by taking first place. The Broncos extend their lead in the West with a big win over Cleveland, while the Pioneers, who have a point differential of 9, continue to look like frauds. The Chiefs are also looking fraudulent, as they have lost 4 in a row. The Vikings and Huskies are now tied for first with our win in Toronto's bye week. Lions are only a game back. Bears are starting to lose some games. Falcons are half a game over New Orleans. The Bucs are right in the mix as well. In the NFC East, with London going 2-0 today, they're now only half a game behind the Washington football team. The Cardinals are starting to play some good football. They're 6-3. Seattle 5-3. Niners are starting to string some wins together, and the Rams are not very good. It's wild that the 3 winless teams are coached by Bacher, Mr. Rob, and Husker, who are all really good coaches. So, although all 3 of those teams were pretty bad last year, so I guess it's not like a total surprise, but I would have expected more than 0 wins from them. That's the wrong button. I want stats for the weekly awards. They go to Josh Rosen, yuck, Tom Brady, unsurprisingly, Charvarius Ward, and Isaiah Simmons. All right, we'll take a look at the injuries, and then that will do it. So Ben Jones, I think he got hurt in the game. Terry McLaurin is healthy. Yay! Jabril Peppers, that feels like a new one, although it's not a serious injury. The Bears are the couple. Was Deion Jones already hurt? I think he was. Kyle Duggar, that feels new. Only one more week on Azeez Ojulari. Chris Jones, we saw in the watched game along with Greg Gaines. Not a ton. Matt Breida, I think, is new. Mekhi Becton, broken thumb. What is his weight in the game? Like 360? 364. I was close. Calvin Ridley broke it. Oh, that already happened. Keenan Allen broken hand. That feels new. That's it. Can you see my schemes? I mean, they're whatever you last put them as. Here, let me, we'll go into, I think I can see it through any team. Yeah, so you have not edited your schemes yet since OFL 21, so I guess it would be the baseline Titan schemes. Yeah. I know the Titans' offense is pretty good in this game. I don't really know as much about the defensive playbooks. I don't really know if they correlate to success or at least like a lot of stats. Jameson Williams is star dev. Spoiler alert. Did I change your playbook? I think it was already at Bears. So your playbook is at the Bears. Tyrann Matthews overall at corner is 94. That's pretty good. So next stream, I think, will be Thursday. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll see. Here, let's take a look at the schedule. I normally do this in OFL 21. I don't know why we haven't done it this year, but just so we can take a peek. See what games could be interesting. Black Knights Aviators, Broncos Bison, Browns Shamrocks, Giants Vikings. The Giants aren't too bad. Cardinals Seahawks. These are the two best teams in the West. Patriots Jets isn't horrible. Saints Niners could be interesting. The battle of my MVP candidates who have both completely floundered. Tigers Jaguars isn't too bad. Neither is Lions Dolphins. Football team Bucks is pretty good. And then week 11, Jets Vikings on Thursday night. Niners Cardinals, Falcons Shamrocks, Tigers Pioneers. I'm curious to watch the Pioneers. I want to see if they're legit or not. Broncos Chargers isn't bad. Bucks Seahawks. A lot of these games are good. Wizards Giants could be interesting. Bison Black Knights, Bears Bats. There are some interesting matchups these next 2 weeks. As we continue to figure out which teams are for real and which teams, well, not so much. So, hope everybody enjoyed a fun 2 more weeks of football, including a crazy watched game with the Chiefs and the Tigers. So I hope everybody enjoyed, and we'll be back later this week. Peace out.